Well, hello and welcome to Connecting with Angels, where our goal is to raise human consciousness with art and conversations. So today I have Lori, and she's one of my painting friends, and she has the Art of Fun and Joy on Instagram. Uh, so today we're going to intend to inspire creativity within people who listen.
Mhm.
And this is how we play. And I'm an angelic energy healer and frequency person who speaks light language. And I also paint and draw symbols. So let's get started with 3 breaths. Let's just take some breaths down low in the belly for creativity. So breathe in, hold, and release. Breathe in, hold, and release. Breathe in, hold, and release. Ene ine shinuku toro anala ina kashine e tu no oro o shana kente naporu unala ine kishitu no oru kushana ai ena kushu aro ena lana iku.
Rote e rade ini rade eke krasiatia le te ki rade ishi shukrania watakrade eshe she kalade I lortaka a le te ki rade ini rade ishi shukuta a si I.
E na inu ku no roka shana la ine ki shinu pota ine katara ashana la ine uru isha ina kata atara ine ke tuno uru sha.
Warashaya shana asha shushra ese shtani ara asha shukro asi sishini ara se eshe shukros asa ase tilara aso shanilara washa alara de eshe she la lara de ishi shusanilara de I sukura se e osho o showa lara de I kie.
Ara ine ina kashina katu mara o na ki tuno kotara ashai. Iki na tuno brai knashi no uru unalai.
Wetikarara asata a ni rara atakarari I kukuta a larade ese tikarade I tikarate I tu larade I si tikarade a watakara atinira ase washakarada e shikarada tu talarade e la larade e te tikarada also wono o warara ake karade e washakorora ti kiki krani.
That feels good. Yeah, you want to do light language till you tickle, till you feel
I
that
know.
just joy and laughter or whatever. So we have been playing with art and a couple of different types of therapeutic art. Um, um, the I mean, my inspiration was to play with um, non-dominant hand this week, and I was drawing little things, and they're just really hilarious. I was going to show you a couple of them before we get started. So this is one, Who Am I Right Now? And it was a little bit of gray areas and but lots of light colors, green and orange. And so what I would do is I close my eyes and draw these little messages. Here's another one. I'm like leaning left, um, silly looking, but this one was my favorite. I'm a walrus. Ah, ah. Anyway, I've drawn several, but the one for today that I drew, so I'll just show you that one. So I drew it. Oh, I gotta get it centered. So this one, it looks like, my eyes are closed, And this is kind of how I get messages. I close my eyes, I kind of see in color, but it was purple, yellow, and green and blue today. And but these are some of my favorite exercises to actually use your non-dominant hand, make some marks on the page. And you had the inspiration of who am I becoming. So
Mm-hmm.
I will I wrote that down on one of my pages. And I did prepare because that's how I am. But I see which one was I going to use. Who am I becoming? I have one somewhere. I guess I'll use this one. Who am I becoming? I've got a little bit of blue on it, and I had already drawn a little bit, but I'm going to draw some more on it. And, um, or actually, I may draw behind me a little bit. So I just get a marker and we can start. So
Okay.
we,
Well,
or,
if you're going to draw behind you, you have the screen
oh,
on
I need to turn
which,
that off, don't I?
yeah. So when you said draw with your non-dominant hand and then close your eyes, so so I wrote at the top, "Who am I right now?" And then identity, and then I did peek once because I had to draw the other side and I needed to know where to start. But this is what I drew,
Oh, I love it.
and but I stayed with my non-dominant hand for the coloring. Um, what I was feeling during all this was strength, power, and frustration. Now, because this is frustrating, working with my left hand, trying to, well, the drawing is what the drawing is with my eyes closed and my left hand. But when I got to the end, I'm like, it looks like a 5-year-old, picture. Uh, but I was thinking, okay, does it need anything? And all of a sudden, at the same time, I got two little earworms, one from each side. I forgot which side. I think from my left side, I heard Tammy, and on the other side, I heard Angel saying, "Me, Angel." So that's the blue on there. I looked up pictures of angel wings, but trying to draw them with or paint them with my left hand, it was just that was fun. So there was an air of frustration. So I actually had a conversation before that with a friend, and I was frustrated already, so it kind of like bled through to this. And then I did a manifestation event form, which helped immensely. And then I went on to who am I becoming, and I did one like this.
I love
Why
it.
is it?
There's some really pretty colors too.
And yesterday I did another one. Who am I becoming? I think I still want to work on this one some more.
Oh,
But
I love that.
so the circle is there's lines going through first, and the circle is the
Push it over
boundary.
the other direction. There you go. Okay,
Okay,
we can see
the
it.
the boundary of who I am like right now, and
Uh-huh.
then the circles that I found later were where I'm getting support.
Oh, I
So
love
some
that.
of the support I already have, some of it's going to like be coming in from the sides, and some of it still needs to be discovered, which was so cool because I got that like not download, just intuition, that's what that actually was.
Yeah. Okay, so I had a experience that was kind of unusual. Saturday at the gym, I was leaving yoga and there was a guy kind of singing along with a song, but it was called Break All the Chains. So I was walking away from him in a hallway, but the further away from him I got, the louder it got. it was like a booming voice, like hitting me. It was almost like energy hitting me. So it was break all the chains. So this was the image that I drew.
Oh, wow.
And it was neurogenic art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lori introduced this to me, but I've been drawing and painting symbols, and but I drew the chains, and I put some color and art, but this kind of represents um the feelings I have, um you know all the connections, because we did intend to focus on on certain areas this week, which were identity, which was why we were drawing the images of
Mm-hmm.
our identity. And then so all of the connections represented certain words, certain feelings, and things I was experiencing. Like, like sometimes we have connections, but we don't remember them. Or maybe we've taken a pause or a break from something. Like I took a break from
Mm-hmm.
art. Um, but they're all intertwined, and you don't have to break up with all your friends. You have to, you can be you can spend less time with negative people, but you can consider making new friends or laughing in new places. And you had a
Mm-hmm.
story that was kind of like that too. I actually did two on that. This came through.
Oh,
Um,
wow. That's really cool.
this was kind of an intuitive painting,
Mm-hmm.
feeling like chained down by certain things. Maybe you feel like you're expanding in new areas, but don't, you just don't see it. You're always participating with life, but how are you choosing to participate? So the message I got on Friday was, is heart-centered participation. You and I are excellent at that. But maybe we have some judgment that we need to let go of. Because so this one was kind of like, I'm woman. Um, you know, yeah, I kind of might have felt chained down by some of the past, but the truth is, I've always been expanding my whole life. That may mean letting go of attachment to certain things you did in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but moving in the direction of what you want to experience now. So anyway, those were two that kind of that message came through very strong. And when I was in the store this morning, it was like uh, this girl had a shirt on, Spirit, lead me to trust, lead
Oh,
me um, to a life without borders. So what kind of shape or border have I put around any relationship in my life? Because they're changing, and I can change directions in it, and people are constantly changing, just like the identity thing. Who I am right now changes all the time. These little
right.
silly drawings, I could do them anytime, any day, and I'm going to
Well,
look different in them. Go ahead. Show me what
I
you got
know.
now.
Okay. Well, first of all, when you came up with that left-handed drawing, "Who am I right now?" Immediately, the song "Bitch" by Meredith Brooks popped in my head. I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. And
I love it.
I
I'm going to
love
listen to that today.
love that song. It is like a power anthem for women. You can be everything.
Yeah, I love it. I
And
love it.
and then it's so funny you're talking about chains. So in 2015, I was working in a job, a major box health insurance company. Everybody knows it. But I was looking at all the cubicles, you know, Talk about stifling creativity. Little walls, all over, headsets on, and I was on a late shift for a while, and I brought just some paper, and I was drawing a cubicle, and I was trying to draw my friend across in it, and it was like really flat, and but there was an idea in there, and it kept forming. Like, how do you put in the oppressiveness of being literally in a box, in a job where you're monitored, micromanaged for the words you say on the phone? For someone who's intuitive and loves connection, it's not a good job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I eventually came up with, so this has been a picture in a long way and long making. I haven't added any color to it because I didn't know what to do, but let's see if you can see this. Um, these are all
Other
cubicles.
direction. Move them over a little
This
bit.
way?
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that's a little better.
All right. Yeah, this,
Cubicles.
yeah, cubicles. And then on this side, I don't know if you can see it, like, that's someone leaving. That's me leaving. But in here, everyone has a chain on their leg.
Oh.
And there's a little box right here I drew. That was the key. Who knew? A key, which after everything, I listened to one your last call, and you guys were talking about keys. Um,
Yeah.
for me, that was the key. You couldn't leave. The original thought was don't let the human assets leave until like 6 p.m. And there was a key, and every little person in the cubicle has a chain around their foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and in this one, I'm going to draw paint in there, but there's broke the chain off, and there's going to be blood coming off because I always like adding those little details. But I was thinking I didn't quite draw the perspective, right? But so the focus is supposed to be on, the breaking free, and it came up last year with, oh, I could have light shining through this door that she's going through, colored
Uh-huh.
light. Part of what we do too is just being in proximity to the other is, elevating perception,
Uh-huh.
vibration.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking about coloring this out in circles, concentric circles going out, where you can see like bright color and then it just starts to fade from there, but showing how we can actually change things by just shining our light.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Or being a lighthouse, like
right, yeah.
reflection, the reflection of going back to last week, like our reflection actually does the work. Just being you is
Hmm.
fine. But yeah,
Right,
you
because
make,
there is no words for anyone there. It's just realizing that I'm more than what's in the box.
yeah.
And I have like little thought clouds over, and I couldn't figure out what to put over mine. And it finally came to me unimaginable and question marks because the future is uncertain. And, we recently, the conversations have been around being feeling safe and secure in uncertainty
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
just grounding into that, knowing it's going to be okay.
Yeah. So I went on a walk yesterday morning in this little park, and there's all these chains as I'm entering it. So this message was kept coming to me, but am I listening? And so, um, and I was, I keep getting like some of my friends keep sending me these messages like, what does it mean to be a woman? So part of my identity is woman. And I painted this one yesterday. Um, so okay, if I can get it, I can't get
Yeah,
it.
I can see it. Yep.
Okay. Anyway, I love doing these like intuitive drawings. But in the middle of it, I was having this you know, we're masculine and we're feminine. There's
Oh.
things inside of you. Um, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I love doing these crazy paintings with like just scribbling, and I get I get the stick and play with ink and just scribble all over it with left, because really it's about energy, you know, and there are some symbols in there and stuff. But so art, you can actually get ideas to flow out of you if you'll just allow the art, you know. I mean, you're getting this, we're getting some of the same messages. We're chatting
Yeah.
a little bit, like we both did a lighthouse last week.
Mm-hmm.
And but there was no, we have an intention for the call, and maybe we are playing with different, you know, maybe the ideas play with neurogenic art. Um, but the messages come through. So you know, what does it mean to be a woman? Yes, it means you've got emotions that are anger, fear, uh, bitchiness. um, but if that emotion comes up, are we judging it? You know, because we're so spiritual and we're so perfect. So perfectionism, and this is why I love like painting with weird things like sticks or painting with my left hand, because it gets into my intuitive brain, and the logic of overthinking just kind of drops away. So, anyway, that's an example of that. Um, and I also kind of got the I pretty much knew, like, when I get like a big download, like I got a creativity download, I have to really stamp it in to this reality. You know, I have to do something with it. It's not just for me, it's for other people too. Like the creativity, you know, that may mean my creativity chakra really fully opened and I've got extra energy. And if I don't like channel it into something, you know, art is meditative. Like sitting and playing with the
Mm-hmm.
art is meditative, and it frees up space in your mind for new thoughts to come in. And you had a great weekend. I don't know if you want to share
Oh
about that.
yeah. So on Monday, John called me, or was it even on Tuesday? I'm not sure. Um, and he said that, hey, I was offered tickets to it was a work event. Some company he works with, you know, they're going to do the Milwaukee River Cruise. Do you want to? And right away I was like, yes. I've been wanting to do that for as soon as I heard about it. You know, how many years ago? And it was amazing. It was a small group, and I was able to, you know, I'm an introvert, but well, an ambivert. I guess I have people that drain me and people that charge me up. Met this wonderful lady. We had a conversation. I could tell that she was spiritual. After, you know, because I try to drop lines every once in a while and see how people bite. They either are like, what? Or they'll immediately change to something else because they don't quite understand what I'm talking about. She was biting. So I kept sharing and asking her questions, and she's actually on a similar path, a little bit different way, more with, she's at the point where she's seeing religion, the good and bad in all religions. But we had great conversation, and then I had conversations with other people, and just saw everything as perfect. And honestly, every conversation was just expansive and fun, filled with joy and light. And that little event was also part of my abundance journey because it's all said and done, how much the boat trip, the alcohol, all the food before, during, and after was probably like really expensive. But it didn't cost anything.
Oh,
And they were giving freely. And, I didn't overdo anything. I just had fun like everybody else. And it was an absolutely fabulous day. Fabulous. I was exhausted by the end, which is always good.
you really live in a beautiful area. That's what I was noticing. The pictures on
Yeah.
Facebook are just amazing.
Oh, yeah. Milwaukee has some very beautiful parts. I mean, especially all Wisconsin is just beautiful in the summer and fall. It's just like so gorgeous. And there's so many things to do. Like, we have so many festivals going on. Well, Music Fest is the biggest one. Summerfest, I should say. That's
Where?
been,
That's great. That's
yeah, I
great.
haven't gone to
Yeah.
that for years though, because that's
Yeah, I
big
didn't.
crowds, and I don't know. I find that I like smaller sites crowds better. But I love live music.
Oh, I
Any
do
chance
too.
I can get, live music is wonderful.
Yeah, I like it too.
But I need people to go with.
I've
I was
been,
just,
I've had, I've been to hundreds of concerts. I don't
mm,
go as much now, but I'm, totally. That's another thing when I'm painting, I often listen to music and
mhm.
it's like, oh, and it was so funny yesterday. I got a song from somebody and I was like stuck on this painting behind me and there was something in the song that just kind of then I was like splattering and just putting paint and just laughing and just slinging paint. I just love to do that. I'm just like bing. My art room is like a total wreck. It's so bad. Anyway, but
I was just thinking that too. I got stuff piled up all over the place right now, and I'm like, but if I organize it and put everything away, then I just have to start pulling stuff out again. It's just like a constant. I don't
I
have a
know.
specific art room. It's, I'm on my desk, which is technically like an art table,
Uh-huh.
but it has two drawers. It doesn't have enough space. I mean, honestly, I could probably take up half this room if I could get storage to put like paper in, paints, and like I was mentioning before, I found markers that I didn't know I have because
Uh-huh.
I got a bunch of stuff from my mentor, who's my sister-in-law's mom, but they were downsizing her house. She had like severe Alzheimer's last year, and they were just getting rid of everything because her and her husband were in assisted living. But I have stuff in there I saw, but I didn't really register because there's so much stuff. I have so
Right.
much acrylic paint, and I don't even use acrylic paints right now. I would like
You
to.
can water it down and use it kind of like
Yeah, I
uh
mean, I have used acrylics before, um, but I don't know. They just seem uh, watercolors dry so much. Well, acrylic dries quickly, doesn't it?
yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, in fact that's kind of how I paint is or I prefer to paint is to sort of use I use acrylic and watercolor, and I've painted a lot with oil, um, pastels. Right now, I'm painting with pastels. Okay, so this was the
Oh,
image that I drew this morning. Like, who am I? I might put some words in there. This reminds me of kind of like star pose in yoga. Um, it's like it's a powerful pose. So what I did was I started with watercolor. No, I started with a gold. Here it is. It's a gold pastel, soft pastel. So
okay.
I love the way that gold lands, and I drew this image. Um, and this is what happened. Who am I? Yeah, I love yoga. I've been taking it for, 20 plus, probably getting close to 25 years. I don't do it every day, but I do it frequently. Um, and but when I take the gold, then like I'll lay down some lines with the gold, and then
Mm-hmm.
I will put in some watercolor or some um, acrylic and just kind of do, and then I layer, like I like layers on top of layers. That's my
Okay.
favorite thing. And so then, I might put in some more gold and then just kind of draw and keep going until I feel like it's complete. And there's something about certain colors together, like purple and gold, and but so I like to use different medias. It's just how I like to, I break all the rules. If I was born to be an artist, I do everything backwards, upside down, or whatever. So,
Yeah, the OCD part of me is like, oh, right now this is a mess right here, but I'm thinking if I brought out, I have pastels that I've never used, or I've used them like way back. And I have some new ones now that I, just realized I had. But then I'm like, well, then it it's like way too messy for me because I don't
yeah,
have any space for
yeah.
it. And I'm like, what am I what am I supposed to do? Put it on the floor? Put the art supplies on a fabric chair? No, I don't want to do that. I mean, I don't have, so I try to keep everything concentrated, and then I put everything away at some point and then just pull out one piece of paper or one notebook and be like, okay, what do I need?
Yeah. Yeah, and one class I took, he would make us choose like three colors, because
Oh,
I'm a color girl, and if you get too many colors out, it really does make it.
oh, you can muddy it up really quick.
Yeah, yeah. And then um so then, I just love to play with it that way, and it's just how I do. It's how I roll.
Ah, you roll.
But yeah, I had a what else did happen this week since we talked? I did a couple of I did do a couple of classes, and um but I've taught art before. I taught to kids and adults at an art center,
Mm-hmm.
and after I took so many classes, I was like, okay. Then they asked me to teach, so I did that for a little while. And when COVID hit, it kind of stopped it, and um kind of slowed down everything, which was good. And interesting at the same time. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
so yeah.
loved COVID. I just loved COVID. Other than, three people I knew personally dying, that wasn't good. But I was just thinking about that this morning, how COVID was a time for a group of souls to leave
Yeah.
because of the changing vibration, because that changed a lot, where people realized that, oh, I don't have to do, like this type of job. I can do something else. And now with the upheaval and everything, I was just talking to someone. Oh, this is funny. I'm on the committee for the Oconomowoc Festival of the Arts. And I was thinking, oh, after this one, I've been doing this 5 years. I just want to get off. You know, I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. Last week, I got a call from one of the ladies on the board, and she said, "Oh, I just want to, if you'd be okay, could we sit down and talk about some things coming up?" And I knew she was going to, talk about different opportunities, because before I was in charge of the announcers, masters of ceremonies, for a couple different stages. So I'd have to
Mhm.
find people that would volunteer that like to be in front of groups. I can do that. So I had to find people like that. And I had an excellent group at the end, even Santa Claus and a comedian. And then they decided to, I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. It's time to find someone to replace me being in charge of that. And then they
Mhm.
said, well, we don't need that anymore. You don't have to find, we're just going to eliminate the announcers. I'm like, really? After I have all these great people, even though I was like stepping down from it? So I'm also on the Chamber of Commerce, so I go to different events and talk about the festival, business after hours. But I was like, oh, I'm just tired of this business after hours. It's so business. No one really wants to talk about art. They're all, you know, male energy. Females even have, it's all about the male energy, making connections that are important, that are structured. And I'm like, so, okay. I went there and they said, we'd actually like you to be on the board. And I'm like, what?
Because you're the one to break the rules and they need
Right.
some feminine energy. Of course, you're the
Yeah.
lighthouse, Lori.
I
Duh.
know. And the thing is that I know everybody on the board, because it's a very, very successful art festival. It's juried art. All the artists that get in love it, because we treat the artists like they're more than family. And it's, for most of them, it's a huge weekend for sales. And beautiful, beautiful art. Oh my gosh, just beautiful art. But we do the same thing every time. You don't, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And I'm like, I've had experience with fundraising, making connections with people, and no, we do letter writing. And I'm like, is this 1980? Oh my gosh. You're supposed to be out there meeting people. But I don't want to say anything because I don't want to do that.
Well,
Even though I've done
take a
it.
deep breath and
I know.
say, "Who am I becoming?" Because, yeah, because
Oh,
this is about our voice too,
yeah.
and feeling. I mean, you're there for a purpose. Everything that comes into your life, you're there for a purpose. I remember being in an art group, and this is what I broke every rule. They made me the leader, and I'm like, "What is wrong with these people?" Um, They didn't want to have wine. The church lady would fight me on everything. I'd be like, go get I'd tell somebody, go get 3 boxes of wine. We're having a gallery opening. There'd be wine on the table, and she'd walk in, and steam might roll out of her.
Oh, wow.
And then, um, and then, um, you know, we'd sit in meetings, and we have this really nice art gallery and stuff, and it was all about rules. You have to have a canvas that's 16 inches and wide, and rules.
Oh,
And I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with these people? And then you got to be a professional artist. And then meanwhile, I would walk into like a major art exhibit in another state or country I was in, and it would be on uh a shower curtain or
yeah.
something, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, this is the most ridiculous rule I've ever heard of in my
Yeah.
life. Like, what, so I got really frustrated with them, but I set up new rules, um, and eliminated most of the old rules that they had set up. And I mean, that was why I
Oh,
was there. I was to
thank you.
break
I needed to hear that
I
because
was
part of
there
me,
to
yeah.
break the pattern. I wasn't there
Oh,
to do anything else, and bring in some younger, uh,
hmm,
flowing ideas. And it taught me a lot of lessons, how to work with people that were difficult, and leaders and that's the thing, is there's some validity in every perspective. So it
hmm,
taught me a lot about perspectives, how leadership is. And COVID shut it down. They're back up and running, but my role there was, you know to break it, or gently. I do things
right.
gently, and it's like the idea, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Like, I could always see there was a path that was more gentle when I got up against somebody who was very stern and strict in the ways, you know. And you might think, okay, this year I'm going to, um, maybe I'll work on one focus area and change that. And,
Mm,
you know, but not the entire thing doesn't need to be broken, um,
right.
because change comes in steps. And,
Right. Just like
I
us, we're changing in steps.
I put
Not
it
like,
in writing. They hadn't, I mean, this was like a 20-year-old group, and they hadn't changed any rules in 20 years. And I challenged them. And then once I challenged some rules, even the people that were difficult started challenging rules. And they
oh,
started, you know, like they introduced new kinds of art. And um
hmm,
but they have highly educated people in this group, and in the art center where we were at. But I didn't study art. I studied communication, and art is just love. So how can I spread my love? That might be creating a piece of art. It may be gently saying when something feels very tight and rigid in our lives, maybe just taking a deep breath and saying, okay, this feels tight. I feel like this needs to change. So what with some gentle steps? I don't need to bully it and run over it and burn it and throw it up in the air. The entire piece
right.
is good, but maybe one little thing, and then you might do some neuro art on it, and it can get you to look. I mean, that's one of my highest skills. I've always been able to think outside the box. Start with a box
Start with the box and then
and
tear it
break the
down.
chains. All
I
right, I
love,
got
okay, thank you. I
I,
needed to hear that because I told him I get back in a couple days, and I think, yeah, because for me, I can see, like being in a nonprofit, how there's so many things that are antiquated, but I can't go in there and bulldoze or even suggest bulldozing because that, yeah,
I mean, honestly, a lot of them do need to do that, but
yeah. But it's still very successful, but I think it could be even better and more expansive. But they're like, no, it has to be in this box because this box works. Yes, the box works, but wouldn't the box be more fun if it was like out to here?
yeah, yeah. Well, that's just it. So your ideas are big, but you want to draw them in, and
Yeah.
inspiration comes in baby steps. When you
Mm-hmm.
see a new pathway, you might just kind of, if you got one or two people that you go to the people that are more in flexible, and then you move in, around the edges, and then
Right.
you make suggestions, and you have to do it more than once. I know that,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. All
okay.
right. I'm going to yoga,
All right.
and
You have fun at
um
yoga.
and
So I just did a little bit more on mine.
sweet.
Yeah, a little more
Yeah.
color, but
I like it. This is what I did. My final piece,
yeah,
purple.
I like that. This is so cool.
Purple.
Mm-hmm.
Just purple, and it's got some gold in there and green, and this was this was how I was flowing. I'm about to go flow. I got to put my hair back and go flow.
You have
Love you.
fun flowing, Tammy. I love you.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.